Hey guys, welcome back on the third episode of me dropping the analysis for you. My name is JD, the author of Forex Kids 101, guys. So let's go ahead and start. This week we're gonna kickstart with the Usdjpy. And why I saw that it's approaching some of the zone that we did talk about on the previous analysis. So I want us to cover that before we continue with this video. Okay. So first thing first, guys, we can all tell that ever since a few years back, the Usdjpy, guys, has been on an uptrending channel until we see it recently dropping back down to this area now. So this pull back down here ended up making us believe that the market can eventually continue dropping, and we can see the JPY reaching these lows again, because ever since we broke this low here, we never actually came back down and retest on it. So we were just continuously moving up. Okay, so I believe that we're gonna be retesting some of these structures down here, and then that's what we need to be focusing on when it comes to the USDJPY. So what I'm gonna start with, guys, I'm gonna start with the simple analysis. I'm just gonna put my horizontal read there to cover that. We know that this was the previous high that we broke above and retest on it, and then we continued moving up. Okay, so we're gonna follow that with the low that we had there, and that was the low that we had on USDJPY. Okay, so let's talk about the highest high that we have now. It's gonna be that high there, and then we will also mark this low that we have. Drawing a trend like this, you can all see that the JPY has been bouncing off this trend since he touch, and then it pushed up. It never came and test, come down, never came and test, and now we are testing the same support. Okay, so I'm gonna mark this as my strongest support that I have now on the JPY. Okay, that's my weekly support on the JPY. So I'm gonna mark it as my weekly support on the JPY that I have. So I now know that I have this strong weekly support on the JPY. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is to dive deeper into smaller time frames like daily time frame. And here, while I'm on a daily time frame, guys, I can still see that I still have another support. Okay, so if I draw my trend on the internal structure here, you will see that we have trend inside of a trend. Okay, so if we have a trend out of a trend, did we manage to break outside of this trend? Yes, we managed to break out and retest, and then we continued moving down just like that. Okay, so it's gonna be my another strong support that I have on the USDJPY. So I'm gonna clone the same thing that I drew here on the internal structure, and then drag it above there and just put it and align it inside there. Okay, so I'm gonna rename this to be my resistance. Okay, is to take the Fibonacci, guys. I love using this tool when I'm using my trading view. You will take the Fibonacci, and then you will measure where the market started being impulsive, going to the downside, and which is this area here. Okay, we measure that, and we measure where the market started reversing, which is gonna be this area here. So since the market started reversing here and show some potential sign of reversal, it means that what I'm gonna be checking now is gonna be this radius here of in between 61% and 50% of the Fibonacci retracement. That's where I'm gonna mark up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove my Fibonacci so that my chart don't get overcrowded. Okay, so the reason why we pointed this sell and caught some of this move from here going down was simple, guys. During the market crash, we saw this internal structure again here. We had this internal structure here, and then we saw that it was being broken, and then the market was pushing all the way down inside it. Okay, so you can see that even there we had trends inside of a trend. Okay, so just like that, we had that internal structure there, which we saw the market pushing below it with that as a retest, and then we continuously moving down. Okay, so now I believe that since we have this area here as our 61 and 50% of the Fibonacci retracement on the daily time frame, what we're gonna need now, let's do like this. What we're gonna need now is to know that where we are now on this market, right, where we are trading now, is gonna be good for us to continuously move up or down. Okay, so we're gonna be checking this pattern that the market is forming here. Okay, you see we have another internal structure being formed there, which I'm gonna just put it like that. Okay, so on this internal structure is where we're gonna know if this market is gonna continuously break above this resistance here and push and come and retest here, because we know that we have a major horizontal resistance there. Okay, so we might be retesting this structure here before we continuously move to the downside, but let's go ahead and check on the 4 hours time frame. Okay, so this is how you do your top down analysis. So we can see here on 4 hours time frame, guys, that we have this area here where the market is stuck at as another strong horizontal resistance. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and mark it as a zone as well. Okay, we're gonna mark that as a zone as well. So we have this as one of the strongest zone that we are having on this market. So I'm gonna highlight that as well. So we've marked it as a zone as well. Okay, so it means that what we're gonna be looking for now, for us to know if this market is gonna push up or down. Okay, if we do happen to end up breaking above, okay, if we do happen to end up breaking above this area here and find ourselves trading above it, means that we're going to be looking for a retest right on this structure, and then a continuous move which is going to be coming up here to test or retest that structure before we pull down majorly. Okay, so don't get confused if you see the market doing something like this. Okay, we are expecting something like this to happen, but although there's still a 50% chance that we might not break this area, we might just retest on it, come back down and retest there, and then we continuously move down just like that. Okay, and break the weekly support and go into the low. Okay, so like I said, guys, on Usdjpy, I believe that we're still gonna be seeing some movement to the downside, but although during my check on it, I checked something here. Okay, so if we were to take another support trend and start drawing it from this internal low here, okay, coming all the way to this one down there, if we draw it like that, and then we go ahead and then we clone the same thing that we have here, after cloning this and bringing it above here, you can see where the market can go. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, hence why I say we have a possibility of breaking and retesting here, and then pushing all the way up here to retest the structure before we can actually break the weekly support there. Okay, after breaking the weekly support, it's obvious we're gonna be expecting a retest there before we continuously move down, and the retest will be happening in a good place, because here is the last low that we created. So if we are coming back to retest that, it's gonna prove that we have a strong break on the weekly support, and then it means that Usdjpy will be continuously moving all the way to the downside. Okay, so we're gonna be expecting to see a lot of those things on the upcoming weeks. So like I said, guys, since we haven't tested this low ever since we break this high here, we have never come back and test this area here. Okay, so I believe that Usdjpy might push all the way down and break this structure as well, just to come and test this area here before we start trading again going up. Okay, that's what I believe for now, guys. I believe that the Japanese yen is gonna be dominant against the dollar in the coming weeks, and then we're gonna see it pushing down, but we might start by pushing up and retest on this structure before we come for a break. So it means that it's gonna need us to be a bit patient and wait for that setup to form completely, so that we get the perfect trade to swing it all the way down to this area here. So that's it for the JPY, guys. Let's go ahead and check other pairs. Okay,